hour, I'm joined by my cricket experts on the show to talk about this big contest that is going to happen in New York. India taking on Pakistan. Ashok Malhotra, former Indian Test cricketer, Abhishek Nair and Ritendra Singh, so the former India cricketers. I'll also be joined by our Pakistan guest Abdul Ghaffar, who is a journalist and head of sports of Dawn News. Good morning, gentlemen. Ashok, I'll first come to you. Rohit Sharma, is talking about the fact that he considers this as yet another bilateral match with Pakistan. Is it really possible, or is he trying to put up a brave face in front of the public, in front of the fans, calling it another bilateral clash?
That is what most of the captains are supposed to do. He's being diplomatic. Believe you me, he's under pressure. Everybody's under pressure when they play India-Pakistan. You put up a brave face. That's a fact you got to for the rest of the cricketing paying public. But the fact is, he is feeling the pressure. He knows he has to win this game. Because if India beats Pakistan, they've won the World Cup. Whether they win the World Cup or not, that's besides the point. Same with Pakistan. If they beat India, they probably has won the World Cup. So both the sides are under tremendous pressure. Pakistan more so because they've already lost to USA. And if they lose to India, they're probably out of this World Cup.
Abhishek, let me come to you. I don't think that this clash will be as electric as the one we saw in Melbourne or the one we saw in Ahmedabad. It'll probably be a lot less electric in terms of fans getting there. Would you then say that the teams will be under less pressure this time around?
Well, I think a lot of times these big clashes, India-Pakistan matches, although the stadium, the stands can only accommodate 35,000 people. But, for all my friends in America and everyone I've spoken to from different parts of the states are making sure they reach New York today to watch that game. I think it's going to be electric. Any India-Pakistan World Cup, even though India's always had the odds in their favor, it's always been electric. And it's not only about who are there. But every Indian player, every Pakistani player knows that all the Indians all over the globe and all Pakistanis all over the globe, whether that be India, England, America, wherever, Canada, they're going to be watching this game with keen interest, hoping that their team can turn up today and win that game. So there's going to be pressure. There always is a pressure. Playing a World Cup is just added pressure.
I'm also joined by Abdul Ghaffar, who's the sports editor of Dawn News. Abdul, obviously India starts as the overwhelming favourites in the game. Pakistan coming off an upset. Would you say that the pressure is going to be more on them, or pressure is going to be less on them, given the fact that they have not really managed much of a success against India in ICC World Cups?
So first of all, I think good morning, everyone, and hello, India. Yes, of course, you're right about it that Pakistan, definitely will be very, jolted by that very, unexpected upset defeat by the hands of USA. But as we all know, Rika, that Pakistan-India is all about the pressure game. And of course, that's many of the Indian players speak already, Pakistani players, that the pressure, the expectations level, it always remains the same. I think, yes, we can definitely remember that the Melbourne, the Dubai, the Ahmedabad atmosphere as compared to the New York, definitely it's a very, different sort of cricketing environment right now here. But once the first ball will be delivered, when the toss will happen, everything will be changed then. So I'm expecting the same kind of atmosphere. And of course, the fans' excitement all across Pakistan and India, it's remained the same. And of course, this time I think around that upset of the Pakistan by the hands of USA, I think that actually make this contest even more, a bit of intense from the Pakistan side, because it's a do or die situation for Pakistan. Pakistan knew that if they lost this match, they can be out of the World Cup. So I think it's a very high stake for the Pakistan. And for that reason, I think when the match will start, you will see a very, intense sort of atmosphere, especially from the Pakistan side, the desperation, the commitment level, because they knew this is not the time to, do mistakes. This is the time to deliver as Gary speaks as well, I don't need to motivate them at all because they are already motivated. So I think it will be a very hard fought sort of game. And Pakistan has knew that they have no chance right now but to beat India to remain in the tournament. I think that will make this tournament, this encounter will be more intense and more exciting, in my opinion.
Ritinder, we just played 5 things to watch out for in this contest between India and Pakistan tonight. What will you tell our viewers they should be having an eye out for? What is that element? What is that X factor in the game?
Look, Rika, this is a big game. Euphoria is huge. We all know India, Pakistan, everybody is glued to television. No doubt about that. But this is not the team of 80s, 90s. They don't have like Wasim Akram, Waqar Younis, Shahid Afridi, Saeed Anwar. That was a different team. We used to have a big fight. But at the moment, on paper, India is a notch higher. They have been playing good cricket after a defeat against USA by Pakistan. It will be difficult for them to get that confidence back in just mere 2 days. First, USA, they struggled. Now they are facing a top-notcher in red-hot form, India. And how they come up, that's a big question. Their batting is struggling. Bowling has been here and there. Fielding hasn't been up to mark. So India, if they play to their potential, I have no doubt whatsoever this is going to be an easy win today evening. But India need not be complacent. And I'm sure if Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli score big today, Pakistan will be running for the rescue.
Then, the backs will be up against the wall. But Abhishek, let me take this question to you. What is that X factor that you will be asking fans to watch out for in this context, and the context to the content, really?
Well, I think to put things in perspective, especially where India is going to be playing Pakistan, there's actually a very interesting stat, and the coach out of me is always very interested that in this venue, especially at New York, in the 4 matches played, 125 wickets have been picked by fast bowlers, wherein only 25 wickets have been picked by spinners, which tells you that with Pakistan having 4 tearaway fast bowlers and India having 3+1, it's going to be really important which side the toss goes. Because the team that's bowled first and manages to get something out of the pitch is going to be a team that has the upper hand. So for the fans, they're going to see a lot of tearaway fast bowlers getting a lot of seam and swing on this pitch. And what they can expect is some batsmen getting challenged today. And it's going to be an interesting and competitive game of cricket because on one end, the ICC is trying to prepare a good pitch to bat on. On the other end, stats tell you that bowlers have an upper hand here. So it's going to be bowlers with the upper hand versus batters. And it's going to be Pakistan's fast bowlers, like always, versus the Indian batsmen out there today.
There was a time when we would talk about Pakistan's pacers versus India's batters, but pretty much the way the pitch has played out, it might be Indian pacers versus Pakistan pacers. Ashokji, let me come to you and ask you this question purely in terms of quality. When you talk about the 2 pace units, which would you rank higher, India's or Pakistan's?
See, I'll go with India. For simple reason, Bumrah, he always delivers when the team needs him. Siraj is a big back player. And Ashdeep is coming of age. I understand we talked about dreaded Pakistan bowling, but when has Shahid Afridi won a game for Pakistan? When has Haris Rauf won a game for Pakistan? Mohammad Amir, yes. Naseem Shah, sometimes. But otherwise, last match even against USA, the way they sprayed the ball around, it really defies logic. They are seasoned campaigners. They are dreaded fast bowlers of the world, and they could not contain a side which was playing their first World Cup. So I'm amazed. So I have got no doubt in my mind. Indian bowling is a notch above, or maybe head and shoulders above Pakistan bowling. Pakistan bowling, great bowling on paper. Pakistan batting, great batting on paper, especially Babar Azam. I'm saying same with the like they have bowlers, even the batting. Babar Azam never performs when it chips are down, when he plays against India. So these are few things. He's a big bat player, but that is where Pakistan falters. They're big bat players. They never perform in big matches.
Abdul, you are a journalist as well. One of the things that, everyone in India, every journalist perhaps is talking about is the presence of Gary Kirsten in Pakistan camp, having the knowledge of most of the Indian guys. What is the talk in Pakistan really like about Gary Kirsten?
I think, first of all, because we are talking right now in the morning, so I am facing the 4 Indian pacers right now. This will be the situation same in New York. The pressure will be on Pakistan, just like on me right now. But I'm just talking very frankly here. But I think, as many of you are already talking about, I think one thing you should remember that even in the Champions Trophy final, the 2022 Pakistan India first game, pressure was on the both side. And then what happened in the pressure game? Pakistan suddenly came out winner. Yes, the domination of the Indian team in the last year, in a decade or so, it's very visible. But what we seen in the last 5 or 6 years, especially the Champions Trophy final, the 2022 World Cup when Pakistan beat India for the first time in the World Cup. So I think that is the same team almost, because same Babar Azam as the captain. You have Shaheen Shafidi, Muhammad Amir now is back in the side. I think the most important thing, in my opinion, the cricketing aspect, that the conditions of the New York, the pitch will be very key, because what we seen in New York, that we see two very low scoring matches. Then we seen uh, I think I remember Canada scored 137 and they all out Ireland for 25. And what we seen yesterday against South Africa, struggling in the chase, but then suddenly the David Miller special inning rescued them. I think this is going to be a very tricky sort of condition for the both teams to read out the pitch, the best 11 about the conditions, and I think Pakistan will be on a very sort of a very difficult position in this regard, because they definitely can't afford a mistake right now. So I think the condition and the pitch will be very important for the both teams.
Ashok Malhotra, coming back to you, very bad advertisement of cricket. What the aim really was of ICC by taking it to US, but what they have done in the end is a very bad advertisement of cricket.
See, India, Ireland, I understood that it was a really bad. It was not conducive for a World Cup. But if you see the last game there between South Africa and Netherlands, cricket was not as bad as it was in India, Ireland. So I think wicket seems to be settling down a bit. And I might see both the sides are good batting side, and it's a crunch game, especially Pakistan. So you might see some 150, 160 plus scores. Because this is a kind of wicket, if you stay put, you can play shots. But the problem, Rika, is the modern day batters are flat track. When the wicket is flat, they play like champions. When the wicket does something, ball wobbles around, turns around, then they seem to be sitting down. As of now, nobody is trying to hang around and play. So that is my problem. Wicket now does not have as many devils as it was on day one when India was playing Ireland.
Okay, let me go over to Ritender and ask him. Ritender, tell me, what is the score you expect from the team batting first?
Team batting first, as Abhishek has been talking since last evening, they are going to struggle, no doubt about it. And we are talking about fast bowlers, Rika here. Pakistan definitely have a very good lineup. But I have a very strong feeling, if India batting first, Pakistan can get India at 140 odd, 150 odd, then we can get Pakistan at 75 odd. That is the arsenal we have in Arshdeep and Bumrah. That's the difference. And Shoki Paji has really hit the point here. As he said, it's not about names, it's about performances. It's a drop-in pitch. But here also, you have to pitch in right areas. You have to get the ball swing. If you don't get it swing, then whatever drop-in pitch, whatever different wicket, you can't be effective. And that is where Pakistan has to fire and blaze all cylinders. And having said that, India, they have their nose ahead. And I'm sure if India play to their potential, if we can see that new ball through first 6 overs while batting first, while batting second, this is going to be our game.
Abhishek, would you say that this game will mostly be decided in the power play? And I'll also have to ask you, what is the kind of score you expect from the team batting first?
Well, I think in any format, especially here where there's going to be something for the faster bowlers, the game actually decided post the power play. We all anticipate how many runs you're going to get. Will you say get wickets or not? But I always believe in conditions like that, the bulk of your runs come post the power play. If you happen to have a good power play, it only helps what happens later on. In terms of your question of what I feel a good score would be, I feel for all the fans out there and everyone watching very, with cute eyes in terms of what Virat Kohli is going to do, especially against this Pakistan team. A very interesting stat once again. The last four innings that Virat Kohli has played versus Pakistan, his scores read 57, 35, 60, and 82 not out. That just tells you it brings the best out of our man Virat Kohli. And if Virat Kohli turns up today, what a good score can be, no one can imagine. So we are hoping Virat Kohli turns up once against this Pakistan side, who he has really good numbers against, and hopefully, if India bat first, they can get to 160 odd. If they're chasing less than 140.
Of course, Virat Kohli, Pakistan happens to be one of Virat Kohli's favourite opposition. Abdul, any other Indian player that the Pakistanis are going to be keenly targeting tonight?
I think, as you all mentioned about Virat Kohli factor, I think he's played one of the best T20 innings in Melbourne and snatched the win from Pakistan. Those two sixes against Haris Rauf, what's just totally mind blowing. Again, I think it's going to be very key because he is a world class player. He knows how to tackle the pressure, and in the most of the innings we are all mentioning right now, I think he actually take game away from Pakistan, especially in the last Melbourne encounter where the Indian team were under pressure, but he managed to score runs at the crucial time and pace his inning very superbly. So I think this is the factor that Virat in the form of Virat Kohli, I think India have one player who actually played very very important and very cool under the lot of pressure. So I think, and of course, Jasprit Bumrah with the new ball because he is a world class operator. But I think the same threat poses by Pakistan because Shaheen Shah Afridi, as you all remember, against India in the World Cup encounter in Dubai, he changed the match in the first few balls, and of course, Fakhar Zaman factor because he is someone who has a great record against India. So I think this team will be recalled by Pakistan. This is the way to play a game. Aggressive cricket, which is one of your guests mentioned that the Pakistan team of 80s and 90s used to dominate India for the longer time, and just because of their aggressive approach. We have Saeed Anwar, Wasim Bakar, we have Inzamam, who actually, always very aggressive and match winning against the Indians. So I think this is the thing Pakistan need to remember that. Also, I think, in my opinion, Pakistan should, I think, go with the X factors like Saim Ayub maybe and Fakhar Zaman to bring them early in the power play to challenge India because I don't think so. I can't see Pakistan winning if you're going with an orthodox approach and not scoring much in the power play. I think Pakistan need to do something out of the box. Maybe I think the boost of having Imad Wasim again because it's very
They need to have a
experienced
strategy to unsettle India because India is going in as clear favourites. Well, there are several stars on both sides of the fence, India and Pakistan, but we will have to wait perhaps till midnight tonight to see who emerge as the biggest hero. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the broadcast this morning. With that, a quick break on the show. More on the other side. Stay tuned.